Hi, I'm Aaron Keller. I'm the assistant game director on Overwatch. Okay, Overwatch is the new 6v6 competitive multiplayer first-person shooter from Blizzard Entertainment. It features a cast of 21 heroes who all have really unique, over-the-top abilities that can turn the tide of any battle that you're in. It is also an accessible game. So you don't have to be a professional first-person shooter player. As long as you like playing games competitively with other people, we think that you'll always be able to find a hero in there that will suit your play style. There's all sorts of improvements and new things that we'd like to add into Overwatch before we release the product. Before beta, what we've been focusing on is getting all 21 heroes in and making combat feel as tight as possible. And we're really dedicated to making the heroes balanced and the maps balanced, and to have all the heroes feel really polished as well. It's something that I think Blizzard is known for, is the polish of their games, and we take it really seriously. So over the course of beta, we want to look at other systems. Not only is there the balance to consider, but we also have other systems such as a progression system that we want to introduce, and we hope it can go, that you guys can see it sometime early next year. And then we also have a lot of work to do on tech and infrastructure. The game is gonna launch sometime in spring of 2016. You can pre-order it now. There's really cool pre-order bonuses if you do. But when it launches, this is a first-person shooter. The last thing that we want for a game like this is for there to be any latency or any lag. So we're really dedicated to making the infrastructure and the tech behind it as solid as possible.
In the future?
Well, right now we have 21 heroes is the lineup, and we'll have, if you buy the box, you can buy it at buyoverwatch.com. You'll get all 21 heroes included. And we don't have any plans right now to have any additional heroes available on launch day, and we're not even sure whether the game will have additional heroes in the future. We just added at BlizzCon. We were really excited. We announced 3 new heroes. There's Mei, Diva, and Genji, and they'll be going into the beta soon. And we really want to see the effect that adding new heroes has on the game as it's been running, and we'll take findings like that and findings in the future of the beta and when the game launches to see whether or not the game can hold more heroes and what type of heroes people would be looking for if we do. We will do changes during beta. And if you've heard Jeff Kaplan talk about the beta, he's our game director, Jeff Kaplan, and he mentions this is more of a traditional beta. So we're not putting this out there as a marketing attempt or anything like that. What we're really trying to do is find any sort of game design problems with the game and any sort of tech problems with the game. And it's why we kept the beta small. We're just not ready to make it bigger than what it is. And we're not scared to change parts of the game in order to make it play correctly. The funny thing is about 2 days before we locked down our beta build, we stripped out one of the big features from it. We had a version of progression in the beta. It was at least our second version of progression in the game. We called it Progression 2.0, and we decided to kill it because we did not think that it was encouraging the type of gameplay that we thought was best for the game. We were rewarding heroes or rewarding players for playing heroes and leveling them up individually. And we'd like to encourage people to swap heroes mid-match to counter what the opposing team's doing. So we ripped it out, and we're working on, I guess, Progression 3.0 right now, and hopefully we can show that to the world sometime early next year. But those are the types of changes that, if we need to, we will make with the game. The problem that we had with the earlier one was the way that it encouraged players to stick with a hero. You'd get into a match, and there might be 3 Mercies. She's one of our healers in the game on the other team. And in team chat, you'd say, hey, I don't know if we need this many Mercies, but people would say, well, I'm just about to level up my Mercy, so I want to keep playing her, which is totally understandable, and we realized we were actually encouraging that behavior. So one of the things that we want to do with the next one is to encourage people to play the game the way that we think it plays best, which is to pick a hero based on not only who you're interested in and who you're good at, but who you think is going to contribute to the match in the best way possible. The other thing is that for progression, when we dole out rewards for progression, we also want to make sure that they don't change the game balance. So we don't want people to become more or less powerful based on any sort of progression decisions that we make. For every game that Blizzard makes, the business model is part of the development process for it, and it was for us. And we realize that it's really important to people what that is. But on Overwatch, the business model, the way that we're selling the box, it's purely a game design decision. We think that Overwatch plays best when a player has full access to our roster of 21 heroes. And it might not necessarily take 21 heroes to counter every team that the enemy might put together, but we think that with the amount of heroes that will resonate with a particular person and that they feel comfortable and good enough with, that this is the right amount of heroes for somebody to switch between and play the game successfully. So it's really about playing the game in the way that we think is the heart of the game, rather than any sort of like big overarching business decision. Yeah, we take inspirations for our characters from a lot of different sources, sometimes even from other Blizzard games. They're a huge inspiration to us. And each time we tackle a new hero, it's kind of a new process. So sometimes we have an amazing lead concept artist. His name's Arnold Sang. He's designed most of the heroes that we have in the game, the look of those heroes. And sometimes he'll draw something, and we might not know, we might not have even given him like, hey, do a hero that has like a sound gun and stuff like that. And he'll draw something and we'll say, okay, well, we have to make this hero. It's the coolest thing we've ever seen. Let's put it in the game. And on the other side of that too, we have some really talented game designers. Like Jeff Goodman is our principal hero designer, and he'll come up with things to say like, hey, I want this set of mechanics in the game, and we might start from there, or we might start from a pure story perspective. Chris Metzen, he's the heart and soul of Blizzard development. The original idea for 76 is something that Soldier 76, is something he's been toying with since he was in high school. He always wanted to make this hero. So it kind of comes from all over the place. And we knew with Lucio that we wanted somebody that was high mobility and that was really associated with music and had this really, really positive attitude. In Brazil, it felt like it was the perfect fit for a character like that. The game's available. It'll be available in spring of next year for the PC, for PlayStation 4, and for Xbox One. But we consider each one of those platforms like their own ecosystem. So we're not going to have cross-platform play between PC and the consoles. Okay.
Got it. Next one is.
Do you want any more on that too? Because I keep going. Okay.
It's just a